What's up, LNC Fam? Welcome back to another video. I got myself a new project, 2022 Range Rover Sport. It's a customer's vehicle. It's going through insurance. So let's take a look and see exactly what we got. We got beautiful black on black, all murdered out Range Rover, and this is the damage. Obviously the hood, headlight, grille, bumper. Kind of missed the reinforcement and got the soft top. There's little coolant leak and who knows what else. Radiators leak. There's upper support is damaged. So lots of damaged parts. Pretty much gonna need a complete front end. So let's pull the car inside, start taking everything apart, assess the damage, start ordering all the new parts and get this car back on the road as soon as possible. Let's go. Just got the Range Rover inside of the shop, so now we could do the proper teardown. I gotta remove as much as I can and see if there's any hidden damages that we can't see from the outside, and we go from there. Check out this core support, just cracked in half. Just removed the bumper, and like I said, pretty much missed the reinforcement and got all the soft spots. That's why it looks so bad. Just removed the headlight. Looks like the airbag got damaged. Man, what a chaos. So much plastic on plastic on plastic. And this is gonna be an interesting rebuild for sure. Okay, let's continue removing this headlight and we'll go from there. Everything just stuck in there. Okay, just took everything apart. Next we could remove the condenser and the radiator. But let's check if there's any freon. There is damage, but it might be still good. Oh yeah, so I gotta recover the freon and then we could pull this. Let me clean this up so I could get the AC machine over here and recover the freon. But man, a lot of damaged parts, pretty much the whole front end. Like I said, not gonna be cheap repair on this one. So, okay, well, let's clean it up and recover the freon, remove the condenser and radiator, and we wait for the insurance adjuster to come out, and we'll go through everything, make a parts list, and start ordering new parts. We finally got all the parts for the Range Rover, so now we could start working on it. We'll unpackage everything in a minute and see exactly what we got. And let's bring this bad boy back on the road as soon as possible. So here's all the parts. So right now we'll open everything up, just double check, make sure we got the right parts, and then we'll start replacing and installing all the new parts. Let's go. So lots of plastic pieces got damaged in this one, so pretty much gotta replace the whole front end. See what this is. Okay, that's the bracket. We'll need that. This is a fan shrotter. Right side, and this is the left side for the air ducts. Inner cooler, right side air duct. This should be the inner cooler, right side inner cooler. Fender bumper brackets. That's the horn. We need that as well. That's the bumper bracket. Air box for the filter. Okay, so I unpackaged everything. So now we're gonna start removing the old one. Gotta transfer minor brackets and bolts to the new one, and then we'll start reinstalling everything back in the car. Let's do this. All the plugs and wire harnesses go through here, so we need to disconnect so we don't rip anything, and we could start pulling the hood off. Okay, so now we could remove the hood, then we'll transfer this stuff later. Just grab it. This is gonna be trash. I gotta disconnect this whole system, radiator. So we'll start with this guy, I guess. I'm gonna try to disconnect this whole assembly all at once. Condenser is removed. So now we gotta figure it out how to remove this guy. And the fact that everything is squished, like it's creating a pressure, so it's not releasing that easily. Okay, gotta remove the hose at the bottom. Now we could put the bucket underneath. Huh? No coolant. Guess it's empty. This hose is gonna be very, very difficult to remove. Little coolant shower. There it goes. That's a big assembly. Okay, so now comes the fun part. Try to put everything back together. Let me plug this in. See, this is all the place I had to work with to release it from the bottom, because you got a bunch of metal brackets going at the bottom. Well, let's go get our new radiator. This is the new radiator, and then we're gonna transfer the fan shrotter. So it looks like it goes like this, and then this one's gonna go on in the front of the condenser. So there's two fans. This is why I try to stay away from front end collisions, vehicles from the auction, because if you add everything up, it's a lot of expensive parts that you gotta replace for the front. I think this estimate is like parts and labor like 30 grand, maybe a little over 30 grand. So imagine getting one from the auction. By the time you piece everything together, not gonna be any room for profit. Now we're ready for the radiator. I just installed the radiator, so we're all finished up here. Next, I gotta work on this intercooler, and then before I do anything, since this is gonna be all free, I'm gonna remove this fender We gotta put the car on the frame machine because this got a little bent. So we gotta straighten this out, measure the square, make sure everything is squared, and then we'll start wrapping everything up here and installing the upper reinforcement and support. So now we remove the fender. We got 1, 2, 3 bolts, and then probably some at the bottom, and it should come out. Then we gotta pop this molding off. Okay, a couple clips. And has a washer tank, as you guys could see. That sucks. That means I gotta remove the fender liner, I gotta take the wheel off just to get to it. Yeah, I've been reading your guys' comments. You guys were saying, come on Vlad, no more having fun, let's get to work. Okay, we're back to work. There comes the fender liner. We gotta drop this washer fluid tank, and then we should be able to have access to the bolts and pull the fender off. Yep. You guys see right here, this is the bolt holding everything together. There it goes. And then since the fender is damaged over here as well, so it'll be a lot easier to repair the fender while it's off. Okay, now we'll put all those bolts in a bag so we don't lose anything. Bolt bag. And next, I'll remove those brackets. If we disconnect it, the car's not going to start. That's the intercooler. That's what we're looking for nothing happen up here. So now everything's removed, so we could put the car on the frame machine and straighten this apron out, and it should be as good as new. And this is very soft material, so just need to do a clean pull, measure the square, and we're good to go. Yeah, that should do it. Pretty big boy, I would say. But now I'm gonna put this plate right here, right on the edge, and then we'll start pulling. Okay, now we grab this chain. Then you always gotta make sure your chain is straight. Okay, right now we'll put a little tension, grab our remote. Okay, let me go get a hammer and a piece of wood so I could kind of help it out. Okay, and then I always use a piece of wood, so this way I don't leave any marks. And then we got a torch too, we'll heat it up since it's aluminum. So this way it'll work better. There it goes. That's what I like to see. Here it goes. That's what I like to see, baby. I love it, I love it. Just careful with the chain so it doesn't rip and smack you in the face. We'll measure our squares and see where we at. Right on the money, baby. And we're done with the frame machine now. The most important piece, if the holes line up with the screws, then we're good to go. Perfect up here. Solid, baby. Everything lines up. Fantastic. All right. Let me roll the window. Now that everything is fixed up here, we're gonna remove this. That's it. Right now I'm gonna take this one apart so I could slide the frame extensions in there, and then we'll reinstall the reinforcement bar. Because you're supposed to slide this, and if I have the whole thing together, it's gonna be very hard to slide that in. Okay, now we'll do the same here. Slide this in. Now let's move on to the other side. Once again, everything lining up perfectly. Okay, so now we gotta replace this intercooler. Here's our new one, and then this is the cage. There's coolant.
The forbidden Fanta.
Yeah, for sure. I used to love drinking that stuff. Like 40 grams of sugar definitely can be healthy for you. And it's off. Fan, this is the outer fan. It goes something like this. Okay, much better. Now we could install the reinforcement. Okay, now this piece gonna go afterwards. Okay, now we could install this. Starting to look like a car. Original upper support, so I gotta transfer a bunch of little things to the new one, and we'll start securing everything.
How do you know what wires go where? Like, how do you know what pieces go where? Like, you just do it out of like.
Honestly, just years of experience, kind of got it in my brain. This gotta go this way. This gotta go this way. It all kind of makes sense to me. Boom. So now we could install the engine cover because we're done up here. We're gonna do a vacuum check, make sure we don't have anything leaks. Everything is good, and then we'll start pouring. This stuff is amazing. Never have any issues with bleeding or overheating when I start using this machine. And then what we do, this is close. We need to open this. We're gonna take it up to 15. And now we're gonna let it chill for about 10 minutes or so. Coolant. What don't kill you makes you stronger, how they say. And then we'll do a little more pre-mix, so we have like all the way to the top. Once we release the valve, it's gonna start sucking a lot of coolant. The major key, once you put this in, it has to always go, because if you stop and then you catch a bubble, then pretty much have to repeat this whole system a couple of times. So the key is make sure you have enough coolant pre-mixed.
Oh my God, dude.
Now we put this all the way at the bottom, open up the valve, and it goes. Then once it gets back to 0, we'll close this valve and we'll put some air in the system once again and we'll be good.
Now, why is there vapor?
That's just because it's sucking the coolant, so coolant makes that kind of a smoky look. I'm a real boy! Gotta go back and forth like that a couple of times to try to push as much as coolant as possible in there. Once we open this up, and then if the pressure is not going up, that means it's full of coolant and we're good to go. And it looks like that's the case for us. Looks like that's it. And then this stuff is really cool. It's pretty much so it doesn't overflow. We're gonna start the car and I'm gonna connect this. And we're just gonna let it warm up. The coolant's gonna get hot and it's gonna start pushing up. And then at the same time, this will let the bubbles come out of this in case there is a bubble. Fire in the hole. And then same thing right away. I'm gonna turn on the heater all the way. And then this way the thermostat could open up and get the coolant circulated through the whole car. See, it disappeared as soon as we start the car. So now we're gonna pour a little bit more in there. Thirsty. A little bubble. See, I removed it, not a single drip. Now it went down again, so. But see, it's good flow, no bubbles. I love when everything goes very smooth according to the plan. So I put the front end together, we bled the system, nothing's overheating. Andre sprayed the hood and the fender, so now we could start reinstalling the fender, and then for the final, the hood. I'm still waiting for a couple small little brackets, so once that arrives, we'll wrap up the whole front end and we'll be ready to go. Before I install it, let me drop this washer tank. Now we could install the fender. And then we're gonna put everything back on the original marks. As you guys could see those marks. So all our gaps gonna look the same. Reinstall this washer fluid bucket. And this is the new hood. I already transferred all the washer nozzles and all the rubber pieces, so we're ready to start installing. I always like to check my locks. Both of them just popped out, so that means everything is good. So now, carefully, let's close the hood. Make sure nothing is rubbing. Yeah, looks like we're good. Perfect. Done deal. I like it. So next we could start installing the headlights. Then once we get a couple last pieces, we'll install the bumper. Boom. That's gonna be a driver's side. Got little clips. Yeah, boom. I was waiting for this bracket and then this little rubber piece for the radiator to hold. I know, front grille shutter. Boom. And usually I like to pull all the bolts first before I tighten them completely. This piece goes right here. this goes. Like a puzzle. Bada bing, bada boom. Expensive headlights. Look at those bad boys. Oh. Very, very expensive headlights. So I got the Range Rover on the lift. We're gonna lift it up. We're gonna remove the wheels, send them out to get rebarreled. Boom, no problem.
Just tap it, Vlad.
And then right away, gotta remove the center cap. And this, because they always lose those. If you don't remove it, you'll never get it back. That's it, they're gonna come pick it up, just like this. And then once they're done, they'll bring it back to us, balanced, ready to go, and we'll reinstall them. And we'll be done with this one. So right now, we gotta put the front bumper together. So I'm getting all the grills out of it. And we'll wrap up the front end, and I should get the wheels later on today as well. So hopefully this car will be finished this week. So yeah, look how many plastic pieces this bumper comes with. The new grille, the center, and then the upper piece. Gotta get a razor blade and cut those off. Gotta be careful not to slice your fingers. What
Oh wow, it just snaps in like that.
Yeah. Lego puzzle. And once again, we gotta transfer all those screws from the old one to the new one. Okay. Everything is good up here. Install this one here. Flip this bad boy in. After a million pieces, the bumper is finally together and ready for install. But check out the backside. Look how complicated it all looks. Wires, sensors, brackets, plastic on plastic. And we're finally done. So now we're ready to start installing it. It's a big boy. And I just slide it in. There it is. Just installed the front bumper, everything is secured and ready to go. So now for the final, gotta install the grille, and we're pretty much done with this one. And the grille just snaps in there. Boom, and then a couple plastic clips. We finally got the wheels back from the wheel place. They changed out the barrels, so now we're all set and ready to start installing. Boom. So next, gonna drive the car back and forth, and then I'm gonna get a torque wrench and torque them. So this is a major key. Whenever you guys remove wheels, make sure you guys always torque your wheels back. You don't want them to come off while you're driving.
Your expertise is more body work, right? You can't do mechanical stuff, can you?
I can, but we stay away from it. Usually on my own cars I'll do it. So we do like mechanical when the car is involved in an accident. So we'll do that, but for a customer to bring it to us just for mechanical, we usually don't do that. But when I do have to like recycle the old coolant and stuff like that, I use my neighbors. They're okay with that for me because they have special barrels where you put all that stuff. So we try to stick to mainly collision and paint and customization. What happened? Nothing happened. We put all the stickers, whatever the car had currently, that's what we put. Boom, now we're officially done. Once the car is washed, detailed for the final, I'll install the Range Rover emblem on the hood, letters, and we're done. Range Rover is washed, detailed, and ready to go. We did 3 steps polish, detailed the car inside out, and it came out beautiful. Customer is on his way to come pick up his beautiful car. We're officially done with this build. Thank you guys once again for watching. If you guys are new to this channel and you guys enjoy this kind of content, you know what to do. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next build. До свидания!